I'm going to ask a couple questions, and then we'll open up to the group as well. What do you believe is the biggest threat to humanity's future?
There's lots of ethical things that can go wrong. There's, I think we're going to have lots of problems, but these problems create opportunities. And I think that sets the stage for all the entrepreneurs in the room are going to go crazy with all the opportunities that are getting created out here. I think we have the potential for unemployment to start rising to unexpected levels very fast. We have 3 million driving jobs in the US alone. If we have 3 million people unemployed, I think we have over 1 million Uber drivers alone just in the US. When we have that many people that are unemployed, things can start going wrong. That's probably one of the key things.
Interesting. Do you believe that our morality can keep up with our technology?
It's going to be challenging because we have lots of the can we, should we issues. So CRISPR technology, which is where we're able to do cut and paste on human DNA. When we unleash this, it becomes a Pandora's box where we can't put the genie back in the box. So we have the potential for parents to design kids that all have 4 legs or be 8 foot tall. Or they can decide that they want their kids to be multisexual, so they have multiple sex organs. We're going to have lots of weirdness that comes out of this. And so those are things that can go wrong. So it's the job as an ethicist is going to be in hot demand in the future.
It's helpful. Let's open up to the group. What questions do we have? Yes?
Sometime I've been telling my kids that university probably won't exist as it does today. How can I best prepare my kids to investigate the future on their own or what guides their decisions or education and what they might want to do?
Yeah,
So the question, let me just repeat it, okay, just so we can get it on the recording. So the question was for his kids, who are oftentimes he's saying that university may or may not be needed in the future, and how best can he guide his children in that decision for their education?
Yeah, it's a great question because universities are finding themselves behind the curve. They're shooting behind the duck, if you will. So while we'll still have jobs like accounting, banking jobs, and things like that, we'll be using different tools. It'll require different skills. And so those are things that are constantly having to be upgraded and adapted. So the idea of a micro college, I think, comes into play in so many different ways because I think you'll be able to just go to 2 months here or 3 months there and learn entire new skills and go off in a whole new career path. And so we've kind of joked around at the DaVinci Institute that if you get enough micro degrees, that then you'll be able to get a micro PhD. So we think that's a good thing.
I love it. Got a question over here. Yes.
Yeah, so as things get easier for us, especially we've seen this with technology, and I imagine it would happen with AI as well, we tend to look for meaning elsewhere. So what do you think is the future?
Let me just repeat that if you don't mind. So the question is, as humans, as things get easier for us, we tend to look for meaning elsewhere. And what do you think the definition of meaning might look like in the future for us?
That's a great question. I'm not sure I have a good answer for that. So one of the issues that we're dealing with is the whole privacy issue. Can we be ourselves? So there's a lot of people that are radical transparency advocates. They say that if we're in a radically transparent world, we're a much safer society. But see, if I know everything about you, I know what your bank account numbers are, your credit card numbers are, what your passwords are, we lose our ability to own things. And that ownership ability is foundational to everything we're doing. But it'll be almost impossible to be off-grid. I mean, we're spying on absolutely everything in the world. And so it's finding meaning, I think, how to go totally off-grid. I don't know what that means anymore because you know, in the new Amazon Go stores that they're putting in, there's no cashiers there, and they're actually filming all of your hand movements and everything, so they know when you've grasped a product and put it into your basket, and then when you walk out of the store, you're instantly charged for everything. But boy, they're videotaping you down to the nth degree. So that's So we're going to run into lots of those issues. So I'm not sure I know how to answer that, the future of meaning, but that's a great question.
We're going to get to you, Ted, in a second. We've got Rick. Go ahead.
Right. What's your process for futurizing, and how does it differ from other futurists, how they might approach it?
So the question is, what is your process for futurizing, and how may it differ from others in the same field?
So I use this process that I developed myself called situational futuring. And so I will take technology and I'll put it 20 years into the future and then ask how does that change hospitals? How does that change schools? How does that change airports? Or how does that change housewives or students? You know, you start going through these different scenarios and it really starts expanding your understanding because you it's real easy to look at these things on the surface, but then once you position yourself in each one of those situations, it enables you to expand out and grasp it in a far deeper way.
Interesting. Ted, and then we'll come back over there.
Yeah, in addition to businesses I have here, I used to start businesses, development-oriented businesses in Africa. About to target the country of Liberia, try to bring a lot of businesses in to help the whole country. When I listen to what you're describing, should I be encouraged or massively depressed? Because I'm not sure if this is going to be able to help people or they're going to be left behind.
So Ted is trying to create new jobs and opportunity in Africa, and his question is based on the presentation, should he be encouraged or discouraged about the future?
Yeah, great question. I think there's a lot of room to be encouraged. I think everybody's going to advance differently. Some areas of Africa will actually be able to leapfrog our systems in the U.S. because they don't have to deal with the legacy equipment from the past generation. If, as an example, we can create these drone taxis and get people around just flying from one place to another, then we don't need to build highways and infrastructure like that. That could give them a substantial advantage. Not good on really windy days or when it's storming outside, but yeah. But I think it has the potential to give them an advantage.
So I don't know about you all, but I could sit and talk to this guy all night long. It's absolutely fascinating. But as your leader of this group, I've got to make sure I'm respectful of your time. So we're going to take one more question, and then we're going to wrap it up. So in the back, we'll go there.
What degrees and skills do young people who are now in college need to take pencils with to keep up with this world that you're following?
So this is coming from a PLC student who's studying engineering in her first semester at CU, and she's wondering what should young people be looking to study to be most able to get a job in the future.
Certainly, lots of engineering talent is going to be needed in the future. I think there's going to be lots of need for material science people. I see the programming world, it's going to evolve continually, but in the programming world, with each of these technologies, we have programmers in the background. We have operating systems for flying drones, for driverless cars. There's programmers in the background of virtually everything, and so I think that's still going to be a really hot field. Cybersecurity is going to be hot because there's too damn many hackers out there. So, yeah, I think there, yeah, just the people that are going to do the best in the future are going to be the most resilient, the most resourceful, the most flexible, that can change on a dime and do something different. And we need a lot of determination. So these are skills that are hard to train people with. So I wish you the best.
Let's give him a round of applause. Thank you.